I'm going to put it at 10,000 emails that we have received since we opened up this tip line. This would be insane. We want to read your emails. Absolutely not. She knows we're going to say you can't read that.
She just continues to ask for more and more because she can't find any evidence.
Blake Lively is in a full-blown meltdown after Candace Owens exposed one explosive name live on air. With 10,000 plus damning emails, leaked PR sabotage, and Taylor Swift's dad allegedly in the mix, this is a scandal tsunami. And with that, Blake's carefully crafted image collided headfirst with receipts she never saw coming.
Now, I've received my subpoena from Blake Lively today. I'll tell you what is in it, because in my opinion, she's kind of admitting that she cannot prove that there was a smear campaign.
Candace Owens just got slapped with a subpoena from none other than Blake Lively's legal team. Yes, Blake Lively, the Upper East Side's former queen bee, red carpet mainstay, and half of America's most PR-polished power couple, thought she could roll into 2025 courtroom style and shut Candace down. Like this was some glossy Netflix legal drama, and Candace Owens was just an extra in her scene.
What are you talking about? This doesn't make any sense. Let's slow that down here, because I think we're realizing something.
But here's the problem. This isn't Hollywood. And Candace? She doesn't play side characters. What came next wasn't just a rebuttal. It was a legal obliteration. Candace didn't just call out the subpoena. She turned it into public spectacle, tearing apart Blake's case piece by piece until the whole thing looked like a badly written script.
I needed to work through her request because there's something very weird here.
The subpoena was dropped like a plot twist, delivered on camera, live, mid-shoot. A process server showed up, all charm and southern hospitality, grinning like he was delivering fan mail, and he was a fan. He told Candace, straight-faced, "I'm a huge fan," as he handed over a document meant to destroy her. "You can't write this stuff."
The most compelling part of this subpoena that I'm about to show you, which I wasn't expecting, is the requested timeline of a documentation that they'd like, okay? This is page 9 of the subpoena. It's a lot of blah, 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 a bunch of words. I'm not reading this whole thing.
Now, Candace could have tossed the whole thing aside, but nope. She opened it right then and there. And by the time she flipped to page 9, everything changed. That's when things went from laughable to absolutely deranged.
Each request concerns the time period from May 1st, 2024 through to present.
Because Blake Lively's legal team, headed by the now notorious Michael Gottadl, wasn't just asking for proof. No, they were demanding that Candace hand over every single email, message, text, smoke signal, and maybe even a tweet about Blake Lively going all the way back to May 1st, 2024.
That if you're going to subpoena people, you're going to need messages that took place before you filed the lawsuit saying that it already happened. But look what they're doing here. They're extending that. Why would you extend it? There's no way that you could extend it because it already happened in the past.
Let's pause and do some math. The lawsuit was filed on December 20th, 2020, which means they were asking for proof of a smear campaign that, by their own timeline, had already happened. Yet somehow, they wanted Candace's inbox from months afterward. Make it make sense. But here's what they forgot. Candace Owens doesn't scare easy.
She knows that I have a source because I'm the one that revealed that it was Scott Swift who teamed up with Baldoni.
Because let's be honest, nothing sends a Hollywood PR machine into cardiac arrest faster than a rogue truth bomb. And Candace Owens? She didn't just drop one. She nuked the red carpet. Scott freaking Swift. That's right, Taylor Swift's dad. A man best known for quietly lurking backstage at Eras Tour shows and probably handing out snacks to security, was suddenly outed as an alleged backstage general in a brutal PR war against America's sweetheart TM, Blake Lively. And not by some anonymous Reddit troll. By Candace Owens. On air. Live. Full voice. Zero flinch.
So she's probably going, oh, who sent that to her? Was it Taylor? Are Candace and Taylor friends? Is Taylor trying to undermine me? This is a fishing expedition. That's what it's, a fishing expedition, because she wants to know now who's talking trash about her.
No soft rollout. No allegedly, maybe, possibly. Just boom. Scott Swift is backing Justin Baldoni in his war with Blake. And if you listened closely, you could hear publicists in Los Angeles scream into their collagen smoothies.
So it's sloppy. I think that's legal strategy, is to get these people like me and Steph with the deeds to say, we're not giving you that information, so they can go, oh, look, something is happening.
Now, why did that send Blake's team into DEFCON 1? Easy. Because no one else had it. Not TMZ, not Page 6, not even Variety with its 16 anonymous sources close to the matter. Just Candace. And you know what that means? Someone talked, and not the kind of someone who works in valet or once served frozen yogurt to Ryan Reynolds. This had access. Real, uncomfortable, inconvenient access. This was backstage with Taylor's dad access. And now the floodlights were on, the curtain was up, and the whole operation was exposed like a B-list actor's finsta.
Wake up, sweetheart. It's everyone. Everyone dislikes you because after Brian Friedman dropped the receipts, we all got invested and we're covering this organically.
Blake's camp didn't panic because it was wrong. They panicked because it was right. The subpoena wasn't filed to defend Blake's reputation. It was filed like a fire extinguisher on a 5-alarm blaze. A very public blaze, mind you, started by Candace Owens with the grace of a demolition expert.
There's a smear campaign happening against you now? Yeah, we all read your words. We read your messages, we read your Khaleesi Dragons, and we're kind of sickened by the way that you bullied Justin Baldoni. Like, we read it, and we feel passionate about this case, and we're teaming up in the way that every parent and mother and woman and child that has been following this just wants to see justice brought to Justin Baldoni.
Because let's not pretend this lawsuit was about setting the record straight. Please, if that were the goal, Blake's legal team wouldn't be out here playing digital Sherlock Holmes, demanding timestamps, source names, and digital paper trails like the CIA on Adderall. Nope. This was never about clearing her name. It was about plugging the leak.
Every piece of information that he wants leading up to when he filed this lawsuit. But obviously, we are going to assert reporter's privilege to protect our sources for how we got information about Blake Lively following her lawsuit being filed. I mean, common sense.
The minute Scott Swift's name got mentioned, this lawsuit turned from defamation into desperation. Candace had what they didn't, the tea. And the fact she served it hot, live, and unfiltered, that's what turned a celebrity tantrum into a full-blown legal manhunt. Let's call it what it is. A subpoena with a side of vengeance, a tactical smear disguised as litigation, a PR damage control move in a pantsuit.
This is important because she's done everything in her power to try to avoid this and mislead both the judge and the public.
Because if Blake Lively thought she could keep her secrets buried forever, she just learned the hard way that Candace Owens owns a shovel, and she's not afraid to dig.
So you file that lawsuit saying if this is real, it really happened on December 20th of 2024. It would follow that if you're going to subpoena people, you're going to need messages that took place before you filed the lawsuit saying that it already happened. But look what they're doing here.
Candace Owens didn't blink. While Blake Lively's legal team was out here playing courtroom mafia, waving subpoenas around like confetti at a PR crisis party, Candace stood her ground. No dramatic monologue, no frantic emails, just a calm, unbothered invocation of reporter's privilege and a line drawn so clearly it might as well have been carved in marble. She'll hand over anything dated before December 20th, 2024, the day Blake filed her lawsuit. But anything after? Off limits, non-negotiable. Try again.
So she's literally subpoenaing, just to be very clear, she wants, I'm going to put it at 10,000 emails that we have received since we opened up this tip line.
And when she said off limits, she meant it with her whole chest. We're talking about over 10,000 emails, tipsters, whistleblowers, former assistants, moms from the Upper East Side who saw things they weren't supposed to. All protected. No exceptions. You want to talk about loyalty? Candace isn't just refusing to fold. She's protecting the backbone of investigative media like she's guarding national security.
Somebody check on Noah, please. Here it is. Here it is. Poor Noah, my lawyer. Or rich Noah, my lawyer, because my legal life seems to be never ceasing. It just continues to go.
Even her legal team's in on the ride. Her lawyer Noah has basically become a meme at this point. Candace jokes he's one deposition away from retirement. And honestly, she's probably not wrong. The man's out here fighting off Blake's legal tornado with a coffee in one hand and a stack of privilege claims in the other.
Because they still believe that the public is still stupid to comprehend what's happening here. This is effectively a PR strategy. Of course, we are going to say, we're not giving up all the people that gave us information. She knows that I have a source.
But here's the truth behind the sarcasm. This is serious. What Candace is doing isn't just about dodging court drama. It's about upholding the golden rule of journalism. Protect your sources, no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's a scandal about shampoo or a billionaire trying to rewrite history. You don't hand over the names of everyday people just because someone famous gets nervous. Because if you do it once, that's the end of whistleblowing. That's the end of tip lines. That's the end of trust between reporters and the public. And Candace Owens, of all people, was not about to let that happen.
She's coming for the mommy sleuth. She's like, I want to know every Barbara and Sandy and Megan and every person that emailed you and Kyle and Kevin. We want to read your emails. Absolutely not. She knows we're going to say you can't read that.
She said it loud and clear. You can serve her papers, you can scream cover up, you can run to the press crying foul. But she's not handing over the PTA mom who forwarded her a sketchy email or the ex-nanny who saw something fishy. This isn't just a case, it's a precedent. And she's not about to become the person who sets the wrong one.
I will abide by your subpoena as it pertains to any time before you filed your lawsuit, but you are not getting access to 10,000 emails for your fishing expedition so you can find out who leaked to me about Scott Swift. That's ridiculous.
So while Blake's camp scrambles to rebrand this mess as some noble pursuit of truth, Candace is holding the line, not just for herself, but for every anonymous source who took a risk to tell the truth. This isn't defiance, it's principle, it's protection. And if that makes some celebrities uncomfortable, too bad.
Have they forgotten themselves? You are alleging that he conspired behind the scenes to launch a smear campaign.
And let me tell you, Blake's team really thought they had it in the bag. Classic Hollywood hubris. Because when they handed Candace Owens that subpoena, they didn't expect pushback. They expected panic. But instead of fear, they got fire. The kind of fire that turns lawsuits into bonfires and public sympathy into scorched earth.
Why is she? It's just like back when she was subpoenaing Justin Baldoni's messages and she said she wanted 5 years of messages.
Let's rewind this legal melodrama to its most desperate act. Blake Lively demanding 5 years of Justin Baldoni's text messages from before they even met. 5 years of texts before they met. That's not law, that's psychic fiction. What was she expecting to find? A time-stamped prophecy that read, "One day I will annoy Blake Lively and she will sue me"? Please. The only thing that subpoena proved was that Blake wasn't hunting for evidence. She was casting for villains.
Blake Lively is suing, among many other people, Jennifer Abel, Wayfarer Studios, Melissa Nathan, because she believes that while she was in a contract with Wayfarer Studios, they undermined her by hiring a crisis PR firm.
And Candace? She wasn't buying the show. She's seen this playbook before. Demand the impossible, then sob into a TMZ exclusive when it doesn't happen. It's smoke, it's mirrors. It's Hollywood damage control in a courtroom costume. But Owens came ready. And when she called Blake's lawyer, Michael Gautotal, an idiot live on air, then coyly walked it back by suggesting he's actually a genius, just padding his billable hours. That wasn't just a dig. That was surgical satire. Because what else do you call a legal team so desperate? They're subpoenaing emails about hair products.
Her strategy here is to ask for something that she knows that she can't get, so that when the party that receives a subpoena says, no, I'm obviously not giving you every text messages dating back to things that I sent to my grandma for Christmas 5 years ago, she can go, see? They're hiding something. Something must be hidden.
And here's the real kicker. While Blake's camp is combing through hair emails and passive-aggressively filing court documents, The internet has already sprinted ahead with its own receipts. Real receipts, screenshots, leaked group chats, timeline breakdowns, Reddit threads that read like FBI dossiers, and TikTok sleuths who are one Canva slide away from solving everything. And at the heart of it all, those damning emails from entertainment lawyer Brian Friedman dropped like a bombshell, allegedly showing Blake's team actively trying to sabotage Justin Baldoni behind the scenes.
The reason why she's on this fishing expedition is so that she can create stories around what happened on set after she's viewed the video footage again.
Once those emails went public, game over. The court of public opinion didn't need closing arguments. The verdict was in. This wasn't a smear campaign against Blake. This was Blake's own narrative unraveling in high definition. Candace didn't plant a story. She just held up a megaphone while the truth screamed into it.
She's not being held captive by Ryan Reynolds, okay?
So what does Blake do? She doubles down, sends subpoenas like confetti at a crisis party, shifts the legal spotlight from Baldoni to Owens, thinking maybe, just maybe, she could redirect the storm. But the problem with playing legal whack-a-mole is that eventually, one of your targets hits back. And Candace didn't just hit back. She torched the entire machine.
The thing is, Blake Lively wants to see all this footage, as she's saying, before her deposition.
Because let's be brutally honest, Blake's lawsuit isn't about setting the record straight. It's about shutting people up. It's about intimidating tipsters, silencing critics, and sending a crystal clear message. Don't talk about me unless I control the script. But that kind of strategy only works when your secrets stay buried. And thanks to Candace, and 10,000 plus emails from fed-up insiders, ex-staffers, stylists, and anonymous sources, they didn't. Now, the spotlight Blake used to bask in has become an interrogation lamp. Every new revelation, every leaked screenshot, every Reddit thread pushes her legal narrative further into absurdity. The woman once seen as the golden girl of Hollywood is now being dissected like a PR case study in how not to handle a scandal. And while Blake's camp clutches pearls and combs through conditioner references, Candace keeps doing what she does best, exposing the mess with sarcasm, data, and a grin. She's not just defending herself, she's flipping the script, tearing down the whole Hollywood illusion, one subpoena at a time.
So this is her last kind of final hope, trying to find something in that footage that she can spin. And Baldoni's lawyers are pointing it out here, saying like, we are not falling for this and the judge should not allow it.
So let's call it what it is. This isn't a legal battle. This is a PR meltdown in slow motion, where the subpoenas are desperate, the motives are obvious, and the blowback is only just beginning. Blake came looking for control, but instead, she got a digital rebellion, and Candace Owens leading the charge with fire, facts, and a full inbox of truth. Candace didn't have to convince anyone. The public saw the receipts for themselves, and once they did, the narrative collapsed. Suddenly, Blake wasn't the victim. She was the one playing PR chess with real people's reputations, and the more she tried to control the story, the more it spun out of her hands.
What's so frustrating, I talked about this on my Instagram, all the press is playing it like she won, like it's over, and it's not.
Oh, Blake Lively is not just in a meltdown. She's in a full-blown Hollywood crisis spiral with glittering panic, legal smoke, and mascara running down the walls of her image. What started as a carefully crafted PR counterattack has now exploded into something so chaotic, so public, and so wildly unhinged. It's hard to tell if we're watching a lawsuit or a Real Housewives reunion in slow motion.
Not only does Ms. Lively have plenty of time to review the footage prior to her July 17 deposition, she's already very familiar with it because she edited it.
Because here's what happened. Blake thought she could subpoena her way into silence, thought a few scary documents, some strategic legal jargon, and a polished press whisper campaign would shut Candace Owens up. But instead of fear, she triggered a one-woman internet inferno. Candace didn't just clap back, she broadcasted her clap back live with millions watching. And when that process server handed her the subpoena with a fanboy smile on his face, that was the moment the Lively legal empire officially crumbled into meme material.
And for you to do the opposite and just imply, again, more toxic crap and negativity about anything this man does must have been to seek pleasure. I mean, you were so full of yourself.
Blake's team clearly didn't expect what followed, because in 2025, Candace Owens' platform isn't just a podcast mic and a camera. It's a digital wrecking ball. A single live stream reaches more people in 30 minutes than an entire studio PR team can manage in 3 months. And when Candace said, "I'm not handing over my sources," that wasn't defiance. That was revolutionary energy. Every whistleblower, every ex-nanny, every intern who once fetched a latte for a celebrity with secrets, they heard her. Blake may have expected Candace to fold under legal pressure. Instead, she watched in horror as the entire subpoena, yes, all its absurd, shampoo-obsessed glory, was posted online for the world to laugh at. Hair products, Blake? Really? That's where you're hanging your legal hat? The internet turned that into a viral joke faster than you can say sulfate-free scandal.
But, they expect all of us, including me, to just drop what we're doing and do it instantly. But meanwhile, they need more time. I need more time, Your Honor. I need more time, Your Honor.
And here's where the collapse gets Shakespearean. Blake didn't just lose control of the narrative. She gift-wrapped it to Candace and said, "Here, destroy me." Because while Blake was drafting subpoenas, Candace was opening her inbox to 10,000 plus emails from tipsters, insiders, and digital detectives ready to spill. The tea was nuclear, and it was crowdsourced. The lawsuit was supposed to scare people into silence. Instead, it united them like the Avengers of internet receipts. TikTokers started building timelines. Reddit exploded with theory threads, screenshots, texts, dates. All of it spilled faster than a spilled mimosa at a celebrity brunch.
She feels unsafe being at Brian Friedman's office, and she's a big celebrity and she needs protection. I don't know how she's gonna be more protected in his office than Brian Friedman's office.
And now, Blake's once pristine image is getting shredded in real time. Her Golden Girl reputation, tarnished. Her legal team, mimied into oblivion. Her carefully controlled Hollywood persona, hanging on by a thread. And even that's unraveling. The internet isn't sympathizing. It's snacking, with popcorn and TikTok filters, because this isn't 2010. It's not enough to issue a press release and hide behind a stylist. In 2025, influence lives online, and Candace Owens just turned her platform into a courtroom, news studio, and public square, all at once. And when she said, "I won't hand over my sources," that hit harder than any verdict. That was the mic drop. So while Blake Lively thought she was walking into a clean courtroom victory, what she actually walked into was a firestorm of her own making. And Candace Owens standing at the center of it, fanning the flames with every viral clip.
I'm going to subpoena them and force them against their will, which means that they are not willing participants and that you don't have their support, because the reality is you can compel them to testify, okay?
And now, Blake's meltdown is complete. Her team's credibility is shot, her PR playbook is burned, and the whole world's watching, not in sympathy, but in disbelief, asking, how did a subpoena over shampoo turn into the most catastrophic celebrity unraveling of the decade? Simple. She came for Candace Owens, and she forgot who she was dealing with.
This is so defamatory. Like, that's what the media is taking it as. We are working with them as in a smear campaign.
Blake's biggest miscalculation wasn't filing a lawsuit. It wasn't hiring overpriced attorneys or drafting an overreaching subpoena. No. Her biggest blunder was thinking she could intimidate Candace Owens into silence, as if Candace would melt at the sight of a few legal documents. Please. Because Candace didn't just withstand the subpoena, she turned it into a full-blown spectacle. A digital masterclass in what happens when a celebrity tries to strong-arm the wrong person. The second that document hit her desk, it didn't become a threat. It became content. Blake tried to corner her and instead handed her a bigger platform.
Why I've been so passionate about this, we reacted to Blake's own words, not to Justin Baldoni's PR campaign.
And now the world's not just watching, it's tuning in like it's the season finale of a political thriller. Not to see whether Candace backs down, spoiler, she won't, but to see who else dares to come forward. Because once someone like Candace Owens plants her flag and says, "No, I'm not handing over my sources," it sends a shockwave through every silent observer, tipster, and insider who thought they were alone. Blake tried to shut one person up. Instead, she lit a match and set fire to the entire narrative. Candace is now more than a commentator. She's become the megaphone for people tired of being erased. That inbox she opened, it's not just a tip line anymore. It's a monument to accountability. Over 10,000 emails and counting. And these aren't spam or bot farms. They're real people. Moms, teachers, publicists, assistants, all of them dropping the kind of truths that PR firms spend millions trying to bury.
It's offensive how dumb she thinks we all are. All people who reacted genuinely to what Blake did that summer.
And now Blake's nightmare isn't theoretical, it's here. The truth is no longer whispering behind the scenes. It's standing on a stage, center spotlight, with Candace Owens holding the mic. And it's louder than ever.
So what I think they're doing here, because I called them, I'm like, this is weird. Obviously, she knows for a fact that we are not going to allow her to have access to every text message and email.
Blake thought she could control the story, but she didn't realize she was going up against someone who writes her own scripts. Candace doesn't play defense. She plays offense, spamming, and with precision. She didn't ask for this fight, but now that she's in it, she's rewriting the rules in real time. And here's the part that really stings. No amount of red carpet appearances, filtered Instagram stories, or carefully crafted press releases can drown out a truth that's already been emailed 10,000 times. The genie's out of the bottle, and Blake can subpoena every cloud in the sky. It won't stop the storm. So, yes, Blake underestimated Candace. She thought she could scare her into submission. Instead, she gave her the biggest stage of the year. And now the only question is, who's brave enough to step up next? Because the truth, it's not coming. It's already here. And it has a voice. Outro, make sure to like and subscribe this video to get more updates.